Hi everybody, today we're going to be looking at how we create charts using our ArcGIS Online data. So the first thing I'm going to do is open a new map in my map tab on the white banner at the top. And I'm now on a new fresh map and I'm going to go ahead and add my layers that I'm interested in making chart data of. So I'm going to go over to the add bar. I'm going to go browse layers. Now, if you've got your own data, you can upload it via the upload via file tab, but I'm just going to use an ArcGIS Online layer for this purpose. And I'm going to search shark migration. Now, obviously, you probably won't be doing shark migrations. Maybe you're doing tourism data. Maybe you're doing malaria data. Maybe you're doing ABS data. The steps still apply for any different kind of layer that you're using. So I'm going to go ahead and go down here and add my overall species abundance layer. Now, a couple of things that we can do with this layer. First of all, we can see here down the right-hand side that all the different types of species here are listed as their scientific names, which for someone like me as a scientist, that's easy enough for me to understand. However, maybe for our students, that's a little bit more difficult. So the first thing that I want to do is go ahead and go to the Layers tab and see what options I have available to showcase this data as. Now, as I can see via the table here, I can see all the metadata used in this layer. And as we go along here, we can see the scientific name there, but we can also see the vernacular name or common name of each of these species. I can also see that they have been categorized via state as well, which could be very useful for me later on when I'm doing my charts data. So the first thing that I'm going to do is actually head over to the Styles tab on the right-hand side. And instead of having my attribute as the scientific name, I'm just going to close that off. And I'm actually going to select the vernacular name or common name instead to make it a little bit easier for my students to understand. You can now see that the legend has changed to be the proper common names, and it makes a little bit more sense to them now. Once I've done that, I can press done and I'm happy with that. Now, from here, I've got a few different options of things that I can do. I can just use the data as it is. Maybe I want to filter the data to show just how many species are in one particular state. Now, we know that we can do that because we looked at the table before and the data was categorized into states. So what I mean by that is I'm currently in Queensland. So what if I'm more interested in the data from Queensland than anywhere else in Australia? And again, if you're in Victoria or Western Australia, you can do exactly the same thing for you. So I'm going to go over to the filter on the third button down. And I'm simply going to filter this data to show what I want to show. So I'm going to go add new. And I'm going to drop this tab down here. And I'm going to choose state. And I'm going to make sure that it is on the state that I'm interested in, which in my case is Queensland. And I'm going to go ahead and press save. Now what you'll notice is all the other data points have now disappeared except the ones that are located in Queensland. Brilliant, nice and easy for me. However, this map is still not overly clear of what species is where. So I can do a couple of things here. I can change the icons, of course, by going to that styles and changing each icon, maybe to a photo of the species itself so that it's easier to understand. Or I can go a little bit further down to this configure charts button right here, and I can actually just create a pie chart or a bar chart of the data on the map to make it easier for me to understand. So I'm going to go ahead and hit that configure charts. And I'm going to create a new chart. Now, I like a pie chart, so I'm going to go ahead and choose pie chart, but you choose whatever chart is appropriate for you. Now, in my category, what I'm interested in is the vernacular name. I'm not really interested in the scientific name for my students right now. And I want to make sure that I select number, just so that it makes sure that it's giving me the percentage that I want to look at, okay? And now, easy as, that's all it takes. We can very clearly see that the highest rated population of species in Queensland is the tiger shark by a long stretch. And from here, we can do a couple of other things. We can go onto this slices tab, We can change the shape of our pie chart. We can add labels. We can change the colors. So maybe I want the tiger shark to not be blue and maybe I want it to be a big, strong red. I can go ahead and do that. I can go ahead and format all the different things, including a chart title, a legend title, you name it, you can do it on here. We can even change the alignment of where our legend is and all those kind of description tabs. So as simple and easy as that was, one thing that you need to remember is if you have added a filter onto your pie chart, then that is what the filter will display. So if I change the filter right here, my pie chart will now update and shows that the southern right whale is actually the most common species in Victoria. So just know that if you are doing a pie chart of data and you do have a filter on, that is what the pie chart will be showcasing, is the filtered data, not the overall data. So just bear that in mind.